You're paying a premium to stay in a Disney World hotel, but is it actually worth it? With cheaper hotels nearby that offer a lot of the same perks, why would anyone fork over all that cash to stay at an official Disney hotel? Hey everybody, it's Chris for AllEars TV and AllEars.net. Today we're talking about hotels and whether the current perks of staying in a Disney hotel are actually worth it, or if you're better off staying at a non-Disney hotel nearby when you visit the parks. This list was compiled directly from you, AllEars.net readers and social media followers who have joined the conversation to help fellow viewers decide whether staying in a Disney hotel is worth the extra cost. First up, Disney hotels. Disney World hotels are available in 3 different tiers known as Value, Moderate, and Deluxe, with prices increasing depending on the tier. Value resorts are basically motels, but at a premium price, ranging anywhere from $150 to $400 a night, while deluxe hotels can have rooms upwards of $700 a night. Staying in a Disney hotel gets you access to a variety of complimentary perks like Disney transportation, early theme park entry, and extended evening hours, which we'll explain further. But you're definitely paying for those special bonuses. Some hotels include notable Disney theming and incredible restaurants too, some of which are better than restaurants in the parks.
Perhaps the biggest perk of staying in a Disney hotel, and I have stayed at literally every single one at this point, transportation. And there are some amazing perks that are more flashy than that, but having Disney World transportation is a big perk. A bus every 20 minutes to wherever you want to go, or at least to a connection to where you want to go. It's big. I mean, you're on vacation. You don't want to think about driving around. That's the main reason for my whole life. I've always stayed at Disney hotels during Disney trips, is because I don't want to have to rent a car, drive a car, think about cars. I want to sit on an air-conditioned bus that has Wi-Fi. They have Wi-Fi now. On top of that, you're getting the Disney touch everywhere, and if you have an issue with any of your Disney plans, you can go talk to the front desk, which you can't do. If you stay off-site, if you stay somewhere else and you have a problem with a dining reservation, you're sitting on hold. You're sitting on hold, you're not talking to the very sweet cast member at the front desk.
One of my favorite things about Disney hotels are the food. Some of my favorite restaurants in Disney World are located at the resorts. And while anyone can visit to eat at a resort, it's obviously a lot more convenient if you're staying there. Restaurants at Animal Kingdom Lodge like Boma and Chico. Over at the Polynesian, you've got Ohana and Kona Cafe. I love Steakhouse 71 over at the Contemporary. Gotta get those Mickey beignets at Port Orleans. There are some really good eating to do at the sit-down restaurants as well as the lounges across the Disney hotels.
Early theme park entry is available only to guests staying in Disney World hotels, and it now allows guests to enter all 4 Disney parks 30 minutes before park opening on a daily basis, versus 60 minutes from a couple of years ago. Extended evening hours is now a perk reserved exclusively for deluxe hotels, and qualifying guests can stay late in select Disney parks on scheduled evenings. Unlike non-Disney hotels you might be used to, you are not going to find a free breakfast in a Disney hotel. Plus, not all rooms have typical hotel amenities like microwaves. Value resorts are structured like motels, except they cost far more than a non-Disney motel. And if you park at a Disney hotel, you must pay a nightly parking fee that's different for value, moderate, and deluxe guests.
I have to say, I really like a lot of the value rooms. I think that they are worth the money, but they're missing some key amenities. Some rooms I've stayed in, typically the non-renovated value resort rooms, do not have coffee machines, which is a big thing for me. Most Disney World rooms do not have microwaves. I'm the queen of leftovers. I cannot finish a serving of a meal in one sitting to save my life, but you can bet that I will be in bed at 2:30 in the morning eating those leftovers. It's not pretty, and I typically don't have a fork. But I can't microwave that stuff, which is really a bummer. I'm not gonna, if there's a microwave in the food court, I'm not gonna walk to the food court. I'm gonna eat my cold burger, sadly.
They offer some really cool activities at the resorts that you should always look into when you're booking a resort reservation. They offer things like tie-dye shirt making, which is really fun. You can make s'mores, buy a s'mores kit and make them on one of the fire pits there. They have horseback riding, archery. At the Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, you can even go on a Starlight Safari, a night safari that takes off from the resort. You go in a really cool vehicle and look through night vision goggles at all of the animals at night. It's awesome, and it's something you can only do at a resort. So definitely look for activities, and look for activities that are important to you and your family. Definitely incentive to stay at a Walt Disney World resort.
It's important to note that the once popular Magical Express, which transported Disney World hotel guests to and from the Orlando Airport and Disney World, is no longer. Many of our readers are fans of staying in Disney World, with reader Jen F saying, "I love feeling like I'm in the middle of the fun." And Cheryl R commenting, "You get to rope drop early or late hours. Transportation is guaranteed to and from the parks."
I always stayed at the Disney hotels growing up, and it made it just feel like a more immersive vacation. For me, it's not vacation if I have to get in my car, deal with traffic, drive, and it feels just like when you're in the Disney bubble as part of a Disney hotel stay, it just completes the vacation, because vacation doesn't stop when you leave the parks. You get to still go to an over-the-top themed hotel where you've got amazing amenities and gorgeous pools, good food, eats, drinks, and it gets to continue and be vacation the entire time.
When I start to get into the deluxe area, that's when I start to feel a little sketchy about worth it at all. I think that if you're getting a deal, a discount on a deluxe room at a more inexpensive time of year, then the rooms can be worth it. But I also think that if you're paying those like $1,000 a room a night prices, and you're looking for luxury, you should be looking at the Four Seasons or like a Ritz-Carlton, like a true luxury hotel. Disney's not gonna provide you true luxury. It's gonna be Disney-fied, which is a bonus for some people, a minus for others.
Reader Vanessa G said, "No stress of driving in an unfamiliar place, and even for those of us familiar, there's tons of construction and road closures. Ability to have a few drinks in the evening safely, no surprises of sketchy people in the parking lot or next door."
Disney transportation is what it is. You can end up waiting kind of a long time for a bus. The Skyliner can take a long time to get on. You have to wait in a line. Then once you're up there, you end up having to transfer, wait in another line. It can take a long time to get around on Disney transportation. Then you have the option of using off-site transportation, services like Uber and Lyft, various ride-share services that get you there faster but costs a lot more money. So, a lot more versus free. So it's one of those things that you have to decide for yourselves. I have prioritized getting there quickly over, saving money, and definitely have used rideshare a lot on vacation with my family, especially because my mom has some mobility issues, and getting her there quickly and dropped off close to the entrance has always been something that's really important to us. So we've gone ahead and done that, but Disney transportation is great because it's included, and it's included for free. So it's up to you.
You kind of have to decide if the perks are worth it to you to pay that Disney premium. And for a lot of people, they are. For me, a lot of times they are. And I truly think that staying at Disney World in the future, if I ever don't live here, I'm gonna probably stay at Disney hotels because I think some of those perks are worth the money.
The pros. Disney hotels are generally in close proximity to Disney parks and can include Disney theming to feel more immersive. Plus those special perks like early theme park entry, Disney transportation, and more. The cons? Disney hotels are expensive, and not all hotels have the same perks, aka deluxe versus value. Plus, it can be difficult to find reservations in your price range and desired location. Next up, staying off Disney property. You might feel like you have to stay in a Disney World hotel, but truthfully you don't. Orlando has tons of hotels with varying perks, prices, locations, and more, with something to fit everyone's budget and interests. Some good neighbor hotels are actually just as close to Disney parks as a few Disney hotels, and many Orlando hotels provide perks like transportation to the parks, free breakfast, happy hours, and more. You might also find larger rooms for lower prices and more availability if you're open to other options other than Disney hotels. Or you could even consider renting an Airbnb with tons of space.
Now, if you don't care about driving, then staying off property can be a good deal for a lot of people. It's usually less expensive. As more and more perks disappear for Disney resort guests, the incentive to stay on property isn't quite as strong as it used to be. So if you don't mind driving, if parking in the parking lots versus using Disney transportation doesn't really matter to you as much, then staying off property could be a good choice.
I stayed at the B Hotel. It was really nice. It had a super fun theme. There was a Disney Ticket Center in the lobby that you had access to. There was a Joffrey's in the lobby, which was amazing. A lot of Disney hotels are actually missing like a good coffee option. Some of them have a coffee bar, a lot of them don't. Joffrey's in the lobby at the B, so I really enjoyed the B Hotel. I think that offsite hotels give you just as much range as Disney hotels do, but slightly wider. So you are going, like money-wise, you can definitely find cheaper, absolutely. If you're balling on a budget in Disney World, you want to be staying offsite.
Like Disney hotels, a parking fee might be required, and some hotels charge a resort fee that can end up costing quite a bit, usually somewhere between $15 to $30 per night additional. Note that transportation might not be as reliable as Disney transportation. For example, non-Disney hotels tend to pick up and drop off a little more inconsistently, and you will likely be dropped off farther from Disney parks entrances, such as in a designated area of the parking lot. For Magic Kingdom, you'll be dropped off at the Transportation and Ticket Center, not at the gates, meaning you still need to take that second form of transportation to get to Magic Kingdom.
If you're looking to save money, definitely consider staying off property. I think there are some really beautiful resorts in the area that are a lot cheaper and can offer you a lot more in terms of amenities for your dollar. Then there's the option of renting an Airbnb. If you are having a family reunion or you have a huge family that all travels together, consider renting a house. Cook your meals or most of your meals at the house, and then you can rent a car or take rideshare into the parks and enjoy yourself during the day and evening, and congregate at the house when you're done with your day.
Also, with park transportation, the big negative with off-site transportation, another of the negatives, is that with Magic Kingdom, you are not getting dropped at the bus stop that's right outside the gates. You're getting dropped at the TTC. When I see a Four Seasons bus at the TTC, I'm like, man, it's like luxury to the TTC. I would love to stay at the Four Seasons. I would stay at the Four Seasons over Grand Floridian if that was the choice that I was making. I'd probably stay at the Four Seasons over Poly, depending on like who I was going with. And if you're balling on a budget, those Disney Springs area hotels, you're gonna be staying like just as close to the parks as some of the other hotels for a lot cheaper.
Many of our readers don't think Disney hotels are worth it, such as Bridget P., who said, "No Magical Express, only luxury resorts get magic hours, bus schedules are reduced so you need to Uber to the parks. All the perks and bonuses are gone and the prices have gone up." Price and room size is also a big factor for our readers. Jason S. said, "We booked a condo, rented a car, and got park tickets for $1,900. The condo is 3 times the size of any value resort room. Even with parking every day, we are at $2K.
There are a lot of options, and I think we all get stuck on the idea that we have to stay on property or we're not going to have fun in Walt Disney World. And now that I live here and I do this all the time, I really know that that's not the case anymore. Disney World is an amazing place to stay, but if you can't afford it, or if you choose not to go into debt in order to pay for a vacation, there are ways that you can go to Disney World and not break the bank.
I don't really have anything else to say, and I'm super thirsty. So, thank you for having me.
The pros: you'll find cheaper prices in general with free breakfast in some hotels and bigger rooms for less money. The cons: transportation can be more complicated. Hidden fees like parking and resort fees add up, and you will likely be located farther from Disney parks. Before we reveal whether you should shell out the extra cash for Disney hotels, please give us a like, click on that thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. And if you really want to be part of the fun, be sure to follow us on social media at AllEars.net. Got it? Good. On we go. The winner of this hotel debate, according to All Ears readers, is Disney hotels. The theming, free transportation with lots of ways to get around, and the fact that you get to extend the Disney-ness of your vacation to where you're sleeping gives Disney hotels an edge that even luxury hotels and full vacation home rentals can't quite touch. However, Disney hotels aren't for everyone or every trip. Compare the pros and cons for yourself and decide where to spend your money. You might want to save a little for, a lightsaber. Just saying. Let us know down in the comments where you stay. What's your Disney hotel strategy? This is Chris for AllEars.net. See you next time.